Welcome to Senior Insights. I couldn't wait to record this video. So come on in because I am really excited about it. I have to be careful and make sure that I speak loudly because people are still commenting that I'm talking too soft. So I'll try to, it's probably me. Not talking very loud, but you saw the video yesterday of in the car driving. That was, you didn't have to watch that if you didn't want to. I'm sure it was pretty boring, but I had an amazing day, and I'm going to call this video Why I Like to Go Out. Remember, I had one that says, Why I Don't Like to Go Out? Well, first of all, after my crying session the other day, I wasn't crying, but, moaning and groaning about how tired I was and how much stuff on my plate. I've got my act together. I'll give you a little bit of an update on that. But I want to tell you about my day, then I'll give you a little bit of update on that, and then I want to show you what I got at the post office, because that'll probably take 2 hours. I'm just kidding. I don't mean to scare you. Oh, everybody clicked off right then and there. Anyway, I took off and I filmed that video. I feel as though it was a reasonable success. It didn't come out too bad. It's too late, so there's nothing that you can do about that if you're in the car in the daylight and you're filming on a phone. I don't know. Maybe Evie has all kinds of equipment. I watched her channel yesterday and she was showing all the stuff. I don't have all that equipment. So it was funny. It was cute. But I couldn't figure out how to get it. I was going to show you how to, going forward, so you could see some scenery instead of just looking at me. But I could not figure out how to position the camera correctly. So it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed it a little bit anyway. We had a little bit of a chat. I enjoyed it. But so anyway, after I shut off the video, I went to the Dollar Tree, only because I was going by and there was something that I wanted in there, but I can't remember what it was, but I spent $27 in there. I'm not going to do a Dollar Tree haul, but I am going to show you one thing that I got that you're going to laugh. This is called Masala Quick Tea. It's a instant chai tea latte. And since we were talking about masala, and most everyone said it tastes like grass, I decided to give it a try. I noticed when I was in Dollar Tree that prices are going up. It's not only the $1.25 and then the $5, but now there's a couple of $1.50s and stuff. So it's not going to be pretty soon. It's going to cost a lot. But they do have some good things in there. And they have some name brands. I looked for the puddings that I liked. They didn't have any. And I looked at those freeze pops. They didn't have any of those. I did get some Reasons. Those chocolate candies. I like those a lot. So, but I'm going on a diet, I think. I'm going to try and eat healthy, but it'll take me a while to get in the gist. But anyway. So then I went to the doctor, for the mammogram. And I sat in the waiting room, and I was very good. Meaning, I kept my mouth shut. But Kara, the technician or the x-ray or the mammogram person, called my name. And I had to go and, take my shirt off, among other things. So I was sitting in the waiting room, and there were 2 other women in the same situation that I was. And so I said to them, "Do you watch YouTube?" And there was one elderly lady. She says, no, I never watch YouTube. The other woman, she was older, but not as old as us. She said, yeah. And I said, well, I have a channel on YouTube. I have a channel on YouTube. I think you should sign up. Take your pen out now or write it in your phone. It's called Senior Insights. I would love it if you would check it out. And so one woman said she would. But the other woman, I don't know, I think she was kind of thinking I was weird or not. Something. I'll tell you, if my daughter was with me, she would have been crawling under the chairs, I think. But you know what? Who cares? I don't care. So meanwhile, Kara, the technician, comes out to get me, to fetch me. And she catches wind that I was talking about a YouTube channel. So I said, do you watch YouTube? And she said, yeah, I watch it all the time. I said, well, you better get a pen and pencil, paper out, and write down Senior Insights, because I expect you, when you're off duty, to go home and watch Senior Insights, and I expect you to subscribe. So we go into she's laughing, hysterically, and I'm laughing. And I said, as soon as I get through here, I'm going to go home and I'm going to do a video all about you, Kara. She said, well, be nice to me. I said, I'm always nice, but, it might be a little tongue-in-cheek. I might tell everybody what you've done while I'm here. and Kara, I'm probably going to tell everybody what you've done. So then she gets out the nipple markers and she puts them on me. And I said, I am really upset. Why? I said, look at this, all different kinds of markers there. You didn't ask me which one I wanted. I probably would have chosen like a princess one. They're real small, so I couldn't really see what they were. And she said, you have the only one that is the nipple marker. I said, are you sure? And she said, yes, the other ones are marking other things. And I said, oh, okay. I didn't really want that. So then we go, over to the machine. And I tell her that I had had a breast reduction, which she actually knew. She says she has not met one woman who's come in having a mammogram that had a breast reduction that regretted it. They all said they would do it again in a heartbeat. Even one woman apparently had a lot of, post-op kinds of complications, like the scar wasn't healing and stuff like that. But she said she would do it over again as well. So I said, how do you do a mammogram on someone that doesn't have any chest, or like a man? She says, same way. I said, how? You don't have anything? I mean, my boob's like plopped on the thing. I said, you don't have anything to work with? And she says, yep, we do. And she said, it's much more uncomfortable for those people that don't have larger breasts because, she's pinching the skin. And sometimes the plates go right up against the bones and stuff. So anyway, and I said, I see a lot of big boobs too. Oh yes, she says, we see it all. I didn't want to get into it too much because, I don't know, I think she was thinking that I was pretty weird anyway. So then I'm up against this machine and my face is going against this plexiglass kind of thing, this plastic shield or something. And I said, I'm trying not to put my face here because it's going to get the thing all greasy. And she said, don't worry. She says, we clean it between each one. I said, well, you're going to really have to clean it when I'm done because my face is really greasy. And she said, don't worry. I was like the weirdest person that she's ever met. At least today, I think I made her day. So I said, don't forget. I haven't forgotten. She whips out her phone and shows me Senior Insights, a little piece of paper. I said, good. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And then I said, and see if you can get those people out in the reception area, that do the intake. Why don't you suggest to them that they go onto Senior Insights too? Because a couple of those were kind of older people. She said, okay, I will. Anyway, the woman who did the bone density test, her name is Laurie. Yeah, her name is Laurie. So if you see some strange people, she said she was definitely going to do it. She had 2 knee replacements. She was younger than me, but she went to the same practice that I did, so she knew my doctor, Dr. Tony, but she didn't go to him. But anyway, so she's laughing. I forgot to tell you that when I was sitting in the waiting room waiting for the bone density, there was a mother and a young girl. And I said to the woman, do you watch YouTube? And she said, I don't really watch it that much, but she does. She was talking about her daughter. I said to her daughter, I said, are you on YouTube now? She said, yes. I said, I want you to find Senior Insights. She said, oh, there you are. And I said, yep. Now click subscribe. And I said, and now hand it to your mother. No, she couldn't do it because it was on her phone. So I said, when you get home, make sure that your mother subscribes. And the mother, her name was Jessie. See, I got all these names. You got to keep watching for them. So Jessie says, I love this. I said, I hope I'm not making you uncomfortable. She said, I love it. And I said to her, you should be just like me when you grow up. And she said, I would like to be. So meanwhile, the little girl, she's 13, and I made her sign up for Senior Insights. Her name is Willow. And she had a nose piercing, and she had really short denim shorts on. And she was really cute. I don't like the piercings and the shorts, but she was skinny as a rail. Anyway, the mother got called in, so I made sure that I got her name. So now you have to be on the lookout for Kara, Willow, Jessie, and Laurie, because I talked to them and they promised me. I said, you have to write a comment so that I know that it's you, because everybody promises, and they don't do it. I promise. They're all saying that. They're all afraid of me. They're afraid of me. So anyway, I did that. Then I went grocery shopping. And something happened in the grocery store, but I can't seem to remember what it was. So I guess I can't talk about it. But I didn't want to do like a video of being in the grocery store, no. But I tried to smile at everybody when I was in the grocery store. I did. So anyway, I packed my stuff and I took off. And then I said, remember, Cynthia, you said you were going to get your car washed. So then I go into a car wash. And I said to I didn't ask him. It was a young kid. It was a young man. I didn't ask him if he watched YouTube. But I did tell him, make sure that you clean up the bird poop, the dog drool, and all the dust that's all over my car before I even go through the car wash. Yes, ma'am. I said, you promise? Yes, ma'am. And he gets out the brush and he calls his friend over. So they hand washed my car, the whole thing, before I went through the car wash. So then I went through the car wash, and you know how when you're at the end of the car wash, you don't know whether you're supposed to leave or not? Some of them say go, or they have a dryer that times down and the dryer goes off. But this one didn't have any kind of like, okay, you're done now, you can leave. But I figured it out, I figured it out. And my car came out beautiful. But then I drove home on the dusty road, and it got dusty, but it was a significant improvement over what I had. It was hot out. It was like really, really hot out. So I had to carry the groceries in. I had to carry my Dollar Tree, and I had to carry the stuff that I got from the post office. Yeah, I had to carry it. That's how big it was. So I get in the house and I'm putting away the groceries, and the phone rings. So I answer the phone, and it's the bank that my uncle, remember I told you that his account just disappeared one day? And it's been coming to me all the time, and then I thought I was maybe nuts, imagining it, because when I get under stress, I do have these little blips. I don't know what you'd call them. But it was the woman from the bank that I had called yesterday, and she said, I want you to know that I found that account. And she said, it's not a problem. You are the beneficiary, and you can have it as soon as we have a death certificate. And I says, well, here's the problem. I said, I have to pay the funeral home, and I do have money in his other account. His other accounts had almost enough to pay for his burial. So, I can pay that, and I can get reimbursed from his burial fund. So anyway, she's in the middle of explaining this to me, and I said, excuse me, I have a question I want to ask you. Do you watch YouTube? She said, I watch it all the time. I said, well, get your pen out. I said, I have a YouTube channel, and it's very successful. I need you to look at that YouTube channel and watch me. I said, you're not probably old enough. She says, oh, I'm getting there. And I said, well, you might actually enjoy it, but you have to go to that channel. She said, I already have it up on my phone. She said, I'm going to lunch as soon as I get off the phone with you. She said, I'll watch it at my lunch hour. And so she asked me which one she should watch, and I said, the one about why I don't leave the house. I said, that was the most successful one. I should have told her to watch the one today, why I leave the house. Maybe she'll watch both of them and she'll hear me talking about her. Her name is Charlene. She reassured me that I wasn't crazy, that it was showing on my online banking, and then it disappeared. And she said it disappeared because they have a new software thing that got confused or something. Because it's only under my uncle's name, but I'm the beneficiary when he passes away. All his other money I have total control over, but I don't have total control. So anyway, she reassured me that I wasn't crazy, and that was really nice. So I had so much fun today recruiting people. I almost went across the street. Where I went for my bone density and my mammogram is all one big medical complex, and where Sharon is supposed to be there. Sharon is the one I've asked her twice to make sure she goes to this channel. Now, there is a Sharon on here, but I don't know if it's her. She never identifies herself as that Sharon. But I didn't. I thought she might get in trouble since I wasn't there for any real purpose. Oh, okay. So then I got all my mail. And I just about cried with every single one. That's why I saved it to last, because I wanted to be fun, and I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by you people. You are so wonderful. And that doesn't mean just the people that send me cards and they send me presents. You don't need to send me presents, by the way, but I will show everybody what I got. First, I'll start with the cards. I don't want anyone to feel bad that they haven't sent me a card or that they have to. You don't. But isn't it fun to look at them? Look at this. Hey, sunshine. That's me. Happy, happy, happy. And this one is from Ohio. It's from Debbie. Isn't that nice? I love it. I really like it. Thank you, Debbie. I'm better at organizing them. I figured out a system. Okay. Then this is from Brenda Lee. This is not the first time from Brenda Lee. Okay. Doesn't it make you want to cry? I mean, she wrote me a nice note. She said, respectfully, your friend. And she went on a little trip, and she got me all these postcards. She lives in Arizona, or she lives in Texas. I think she actually lives. No, she lives in Flagstaff, Arizona. And she went on a little trip, and each one she wrote a note on the back of the postcard explaining what her experience was there, and I'm not going to read them all. I just want you to see all the postcards. They almost look like pictures, don't they? Oops, that looks like it's upside down. Yeah, that's a bridge. I wouldn't want to go on that bridge. And then this little coaster. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, really. I'm beside myself. These things are so nice, but I don't feel like I deserve them, for one thing. You know how you don't feel worthy? Like, I've never been worthy about anything in my whole life, so why should I be getting these things? And then this is a postcard from Expect a Miracle, Billings, Montana. Okay. Pretty nice. And this is from Sandy. The one who sits by the pool, the one who works, the one whose cat's name is Layla. Layla's not doing well. But look at how sparkly it is. This is from Kathy, and Kathy is Kathy in Iowa, and she is a regular, and she does watercolor. Isn't that beautiful? She wrote me a nice note. Wait until you see this. Just wait. Hold your breath, because you'll faint when you see this. Watercolor of Quinny. How cool is that? Excellent, excellent job. Excellent. But that's not it. That's not it. I gotta make sure I'm not missing anything. Handmade wool socks. She picked the color pink because she knows I like pink. Do you understand why I'm overwhelmed, why I feel like crying? Tears of joy, but, you know, it's a shocker. I would love these socks. You can't see the detail in them, but look at it. Look at the detail. Isn't that, how could you do that? And then she's an oil color. And I think she said she quilts. Sometimes all the things kind of go together after a while, so. But the watercolors are just beautiful. Okay. Then there's this. And this is a lovely long letter. And in the letter is another envelope that has all of these bookmarks. Advice from a geyser. Rise to the occasion, stay active, find your inner strength, vent when you need to, enjoy the quiet moments, be faithful, and let off a little steam. I'm not going to obviously read all of them, but look at. This is metal. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So there's numerous ones. This is a little wooden one that looks like it's handmade. I'm not going to show you them all. Oh yeah, here's another one. Look at this. It's got a little token on it or something. I don't know what to say. So I won't say anything except thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is from a dear, dear friend. I have to get my paper so I don't. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, this is. Oh, there's more stuff in here. I thought this was from somebody else. This is from Ruth. A nice letter. And something that I've got to ask her if I could use this saying. I'm not going to show it to you, but if I could use that in a video. So I will ask her that. So with Ruth and her husband, and how nice is that? I'm still not done. I'm sorry. Oh, we're getting really kind of late. I don't want to keep. I have to. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know whether I should show them or not show them. Or what? Okay. Quinny wants to come in, so I got to go get her. I don't think I told you Ruth is from Tennessee. Now. Look at this. There is no name on this. That is from Montgomery, Illinois. Cherries in the snow. No. How did you like that thumbnail yesterday with the red car? And then this. Is that cool? This is from Judy Barnhart. She lives in Florida. This is her son. He is, let's see, he lives the free and simple life in San Francisco. He's a world traveler. He teaches yoga and karate in San Francisco. He's the author of 4 books. And this is volume 1. It's 100 tips from his life experience, along with over 100 exercises to help you live a happy, helpful, and productive life to be a better human being. So guess what? This is going to be on our schedule because these are the exact things that we talk about. She said that I could use, some of this information. So I think that's it. Please, if I forgot somebody or didn't mention somebody or said the wrong name or something, tell me. But can you understand why I was like overwhelmed, overcome? I'm glad that I didn't actually open them directly in front of you because it was very moving for me. So anyway, I think I've told you before, but I do appreciate you. I love you. I cannot thank you enough for being so good to me and being so supportive and showing up for some of these silly videos. They're not all silly, but some of them are. So make sure you come back. I don't know if we'll have a scoop or not, but come back and check it out. I got to do another live at some point too. But make sure you like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.